krótki streamek, bo przed chwilą wstałem i nie wiem, zrobimy sobie płatki, będę sobie jeść płatki, ale wiele nie porobię. Dlatego wiele nie porobię, bo będę sobie jadł. Nie planuję za bardzo dzisiaj się skupiać na za żadnym kombacie, żeby nie zginąć jakoś głupio, jedząc jednocześnie, więc to tylko głupie bieganie będzie. Bo i tak muszę przebiec teraz do... Gdzie ja muszę iść? Gdzie ja muszę iść? Gdzie ja muszę iść? Moment. Ja muszę iść teraz do Ironforge, potem do Redridge i potem do Westfall i to tak w kółko, tu albo tu. A właśnie, tu jest ten messenger do zabicia, a jest wczesna rano godzina, więc powinienem dać radę teraz się załapać na tego moba. Więc no, mógłbym iść tu na Wetlands, ale się boję. Za wcześnie i to nie jest taka godzina na to. Darkshore, Wetlands, Krokodisk. Classic. Dobra. Idziemy. My sobie narobimy trochę tego, trochę tamtego. Aha. Ja no już jestem na tych achievementach, nie będę zakończał. Było nieodpowiedzialne. Dobra. Biegniemy do Ironforge. Odpalę sobie streama jakiegoś albo coś takiego. O, a z Mongolda sobie obejrzę.
Did an attack off screen. See, he's charging up the attack.
Yo.
And then it gets him right there. And it gets him so fast that you can see here
Mogę obracać kamery.
that his life, like look at his life, right? It says he's been slain and he hasn't even lost any life. That's just how it is. Yep, there we go. Can't even see the ability as well? No, you can't. I mean, this is a problem. Like, this is why I don't play PoE on hardcore. The game just has a big problem with visibility. It's hard to see what's happening on the screen. I don't want to have to try to sift through 7 different spell effects to see what's happening. It's just not a good time for me. I guess some people like that. Good for them. Not for me. So that's what I think. What is this, a Diablo ripoff? Yeah, clearly. You need to see the future in hardcore. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people know. A lot of people, they play the game enough to where they know what to avoid and what to look for. But like in general, this shit can happen a lot. So yeah, that's not even fun. No, I don't think it is. And obviously some people enjoy this kind of stuff. Some people don't. I just, it's not really for me. And like you look at all the buffs here, right? He's got, let's see, he's got a negative 10% resistances. So, and then that's also 28% increased monster damage. 107% increased physical is fire. I'm pretty sure that attack was a fire attack.
Wave.
So it's like you put all these together and it's just not gonna happen. You don't run those? I don't know. Like I'm always of the mindset that if there are mods that are universal rerolls or rerolls for like 95% of builds, you should probably just take those out. Like can't regen, like reflect. I feel like those are the really bad ones. Like maximum res is not as bad. I think maximum res is okay, but the reflect and no regen, which this map also has, I think that's just too much, man. Yeah. It's 10 raz, 100% extra fizz is fire. Well, it's also 25% increased damage too, on top of all that. Yeah, can't region, I agree, but reflect is pretty specific. Yeah, but it's like the reason why I don't hit hooker one time ever, got to low red maps without ever dropping below 90%, and I got one shot randomly, literally never again. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing, is there's just too many scalers, too many things happening at the same time. It's too random. I would never do this. You can run reflex though, depending on your build. Yeah, but like the thing is with reflex is that I think you should be able to play around map mods. And yes, you can play around reflect. You can. But realistically, unless you have like a separate set of gear and a separate build just for reflect, unless your build is innately hooked up to do that, you're not going to be able to do reflect. And it's also, it's so binary. It's like you either get one shot by reflect or it doesn't matter. That I think kind of sucks. I think they should rebalance it to make it more interesting, because I don't really think that's interesting. Let's see here. And, oh yeah, I was gonna look at this. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll watch this probably in a bit. Let me go ahead and look at the other ones. Almost gave up. What's this? I might watch that. Oh god. Oh god. This is another dead game. Uh-oh. Pee-wee had mobs that randomly had reflect? Yeah, that was fucking bad. Here we go.
Marketing is an important part of any video game development cycle. It's how you let people know that your game exists and what to look forward to with your game. And I feel like Arcane, as much as I tend to enjoy their games, their marketing has always suffered. Their last title was Deathloop. I don't think the marketing for that game was particularly great. And now,
oh yeah, that was the one where it's like the time thing.
with their upcoming Redfall, I feel the same way. The first trailer that they showed off, I don't know, it was kind of hit or miss. Interesting concepts going on there, but they didn't show enough to really wow us. And then there was a whole situation where they confirmed that the game would be online only. But recently, they did allow media to play the game, and those impressions, fortunately, have been...
I'm going to have to say, guys, again, every game from now on is pretty much going to be online only. They can say it's because of patching, and I think that's a big reason, but also having games that are online only makes them a lot harder to pirate. Like, that's just how it is.
More positive. Here is a basic summary from Okami Games. The bullet list includes things like strong single-player experience, Arcane's best gunplay yet, many comparisons to Far Cry, great level design that's very immersive, still has Arcane's DNA, working to remove always online requirement, a big plus, no in-game store or microtransactions, so on and so forth. For my part, I'm not fully sold on the game yet, but it has potential.
Czemu nie pokazuje mi nowej karty? Wytyfy. Teraz mi pokazuje, ale ja chcę, żeby to mi wyłączyło. Wyłącz to. Pokaż followy, daj mi tego, tak, to.
Doesn't help is a recent
Ja mogę
gameplay
włączyć
that Arcane
teraz
released
wam
through IGN first,
to.
which is
I love how every game gets really hyped up until people get to see it. And then I
tą
think
stronę
like
albo
9
na
out
tą
of 10
stronę.
games, after people see what it is, they're like, oh, okay, never mind then.
this feature that IGN hosts where they get exclusive access
Jak to
to a game
wygląda
and
na
promoted
kanale.
heavily, and Redfall happens to be the next big featured game for IGN first, except if you look at the likes to dislikes ratio, you'll see a whopping 5.7 thousand dislikes versus only 1.1 thousand likes. So what exactly went wrong? Well, what gameplay IGN showed here is pretty awful. When it comes to marketing, I think there is a spectrum of like, you can go too far and show gameplay that is really exaggerated and artificial looking.
Does he show the gameplay? Because if not, I'll go watch it right now. He does show it? Okay.
Or that is just clearly fake, whose graphics and gameplay are spruced up and are not representative of the final game. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you can show gameplay that maybe has elements of what we'll see in the final game, but is so poorly shown that it almost does your game a disservice by not showing.
Absolutely. This is what happened with Ashes of Creation, is that as soon as they actually showed gameplay, it hurt the game because the gameplay wasn't on the same level as Elden Ring. And the truth is that pretty much every single game, there is like the ultimate game of that category, and if you are not at or very, very close to that, your game is garbage. So for example,
Szkoda.
like if you're playing an FPS game, it's got to be as fluid as COD. If you're playing an action RPG, it's got to be as fluid as Elden Ring. And that's just how it is.
Showing how it's played properly, and that's where this IGN gameplay sits at. A good middle point is just showing us gameplay that definitely looks realistic and achievable, and that is played proficiently. With this Redfall gameplay, man, it is frustrating and painful to watch, and it's a detriment to the game. And this is not me trying to make fun of the person who's playing this game. It's just like if you're IGN and you get exclusive
do
access
Telsamar.
to gameplay for a game and are gonna show that game off, there's a
Chyba
certain
wiem, o co
responsibility
to
that comes
chodzi,
with that,
więc
to show the
nie
game
teraz.
not necessarily in an artificially good light, but in a balanced way where you show gameplay that feels representative of what the majority of players who are playing the game proficiently will experience, so we can get a genuinely good idea
60.
for what this game will actually play like. It's frustrating when I want to get a genuine idea for the gameplay, and then the gameplay shown is just something that looks a lot more underwhelming, not because the game itself is that underwhelming, but because the person playing the game just doesn't really seem to be
He
doing.
must be watching my stream. Yeah, basically what he's saying is that the person doing it plays the way I do.
The gameplay justice. And so I don't know, I wish they would have either re-recorded this gameplay video or just found ways to just make it closer, more representative to how more people
Może
will play
Westfall
this game.
Sniper?
You'll see what I mean. But
Okay,
before we
let's
delve
see
into the gameplay footage, you know what isn't painful and is in fact the complete opposite, offers relief? These earbuds right here, which for how affordable they are really high quality. Bringing us to the sponsor of today's video, Raycon, whose earbuds are as high quality as they are affordable. Raycon is setting out to prove
Are
that
these like AirBuds? Or not air? No, that's a dog. AirPods.
Airbuds.
Like well, it's like the same idea, right?
you don't need to break the bank to get great audio pumped right into your ears in a convenient, portable, and premium form factor. And from my experience, they're definitely into something here. Having used these earbuds at home, on the go, in the gym, you name it, I've been really happy with the crisp, balanced, and bassy audio they produce. Sound quality that's comparable to that of earbuds from other more prominent big tech brands. Beyond that, these earbuds are incredibly feature complete, with the buttons on each side allowing you to control media playback, selection, and volume, activate voice assistant, answer and end calls, turn on sound isolation, and even change.
Dobra.
Holy fuck.
Ja mam problem w pracy przez takie te bluetoothki, bo szef mnie już opierdzielił 3 razy za używanie.
That's actually crazy. Like, so you can do all that just with those 2 buttons? Bro, this is some... This is like a Konami code.
No.
Yeah, I feel like I'm putting in a cheat code. What is that?
Between different sound profiles. They're also super comfortable, lightweight, and out of the way by being flush with your ears, with multiple tips to choose from for the perfect fit.
Is it
For
kinda
added
standard,
ease
is
of
it?
mind, they're not
So
only
a lot of
water
them
and
have that.
sweat resistant, but they also offer a whopping 8 hours of playback on a charge, with the charging case offering an additional 32 hours of battery. For all this, Raycons are so affordable you can buy a second pair and still pay less compared to big tech brands' offerings. And you can
What they mean
Yeah.
by big tech brands offerings is Apple.
get yours now at an even better price point if
That's
you
what
click the
they
link
mean.
in the description box,
Yeah.
or go to buyraycon.com/yongya to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. So let me play this 3-minute footage for you guys and react along the way. Here we go.
This game looks okay.
So starting out, you know, it's fine enough, but as the gameplay progresses, you'll see what I mean, why this is so frustrating for people to watch.
Czwarka.
Okay.
the amount of running away that the player does. So right here, some shots hit.
Numerek
And then all the different
29-38.
cuts that happen throughout this footage.
Stokaj
Yeah, this is
24-32.
out here is where things start degrading. The player for some reason just runs.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning there, I didn't think that was very bad. I don't know. I mean, like, cause, like, I don't know. It seems fine.
Away from the
Just
encounter.
wait. Okay.
But all right, let's see where the player's headed next. Right here is an enemy.
Okay.
Gets shot, very low health, but the player
Wait.
doesn't finish him off, runs away.
Wait, what? So he runs away from the guy he unloaded a full clip on, and then he turns around and runs into a void zone? He runs into an AoE? I think they've got ChatGPT playing this game.
Frantically running around the field.
Przejść tu.
And it's just like hard to figure out
What's
what this
going
game
on?
is from this footage, you know what I mean? And the marketing of a
Yeah.
game should aim to give players a good
Shut
idea
the
for
door.
a game. And then, I mean, a lot of silly mistakes and then just
shut
more
the door
running
with him in
away.
there.
Low health, I get it, but okay, heal up, and then
Light bless you.
I don't know
so
where that
red.
went.
I buy and
Just,
pray.
it's just
Be
running
careful.
around,
Light be with you.
not doing a whole lot, and then
Farewell.
a bunch of
Kurde,
cuts
1050. Ja pierniczę.
that makes this all more
Wait,
disorienting.
why didn't you shoot? Wait, where's this going?
When it comes to
16
trying to figure out what's going
But
on.
he's over there, though.
Dobra. Klasyk. Klasyk. Tylko, że ten quest, ja sobie go za chwilę przyjmę i chcę zobaczyć ile i gdzie. Czy to jest serio tam, gdzie myślę.
Man,
Venture Cone, Stolen Talon Mountains, właśnie.
what is there to say?
Safe travel.
Crystallize, Stolen
And
Talon
right here, a
Mountains,
bunch of
ale
shots
nie...
missed.
No
Holy
właśnie,
shit.
Więc nie.
And you can see right here that, oh man.
Bro, he tried
Yeah.
to nose. Did he just try to quick skull? He just tried. Bro, this guy's about to phase up.
Lipa.
And you can see
Look
right
at this.
here
Watch, watch,
that,
watch.
oh man. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, he missed, right? But like, he was trying to.
The boss was at low health, sniper rifle in hand, cuts away. The
Yeah.
boss is still alive, or I don't know if it's a boss, but the tougher enemy's still alive. Runs away again, doesn't just finish him
Wait,
off.
did he throw a bomb at his
Throws
friend?
more stuff, kind of.
Why did he do that?
Once again, just fails to finish the enemy off. I don't know. It
Why not just shoot him?
oof. Yeah, that's
Turn around before he dies. You don't want to just kill him. Oh, there you go. Wow.
the finisher's cool, I guess.
That's good,
But
bro. He killed him.
this really was a very disorienting, frustrating gameplay bit to watch. If you look at the not just likes to dislikes ratio, but also the comment section, you'll see that this footage is getting torn apart. Gotta give IGN credit.
You give your little brother the controller. Oh god. True though. Fucking true. Gaming journalism, ethical journalism, Gamergate is back. Yeah, I see that.
For making any gameplay play excruciating to watch. Honestly, the fact that IGN chose to show this gameplay perspective instead of anyone else's genuinely makes me wonder how they all compare to this guy.
Yeah.
When you give your little brother a controller, there's no way this is the best footage of this game that they got. Here's somebody highlighting all of the mistakes that they saw. Why are you fighting
Oh
a
god.
giant boss inside a cramped house? Why are you now running away from the boss and then
Well,
shooting?
I thought fighting him in the house was a good idea. 'Cause you just kite him around the rooms. You just shoot him until he's
To mi
fucking
da
dead. Like, you know, a lot of
250.
times they have like problems with like collision and turning. They're gonna slow down. Well, you don't, so you can just. I thought that was a good idea. At the beginning, I'm like, wait, what are people upset about? This is smart. But apparently, things deteriorated from there. I do have to say, like,
Fuck.
this is a special occasion, okay? This one is really, really bad. But the truth is, like, a lot of these people that play these games and have to do reviews for these games, they've got to do like 10 games a day. They're getting their ass worked off. So sometimes they're not going to know what the fuck is going on. Like, I get that. But maybe if you're going to upload something onto the official YouTube channel, find someone who does.
No to już do Goldshire nie pójdę.
You know, like that's kind of how it is. Yeah.
Ads while your team gets killed? Why are you lock picking a door mid-combat instead of rezzing teammates? Why are you throwing your translocator and then not using it? Why are you sniping an enemy 3 feet in front of you? Why did you take the killing blow when you barely contributed anything? Others are frustrated at just the sheer number of cuts that were featured in this footage. There's a bad showcase. Stop skipping around. Show us the full fight.
Yeah,
And look, I'm not
exactly.
saying that players aren't allowed to make mistakes. That's a part of genuine game.
Well, they're allowed to make mistakes, but they're also allowed to not make mistakes. I mean, so if they, you know, if they wanted to, they could not make mistakes.
Play, but when your whole gameplay presentation is just a sequence of mistakes and you're constantly giving us weirdly placed cuts that doesn't allow us to get a full idea for what happened in this gameplay segment, then yeah, it is just not a good showcase. It just
Yeah,
doesn't.
it's like for me, whenever I play new games, like you guys know, like I totally spurg out playing new games. Like I have such a bad time playing new games. But the reality is that I know that, and if I'm gonna make a video about a game, I don't record that and then put it out and say this game is really good or this game is really bad. Like I give it a few days, I play through it. Like Remnant is a good example of that. The first day of Remnant was a bad day.
You don't, Clippers.
That was a bad day. But I played through it
But they're
and I
Clippers.
learned the game, and that's it. And it was a good game.
Lol.
So Wulong was a shit game. Like that game was fucking garbage. I'm sorry, it's a garbage game. But the difference is that Remnant was not a garbage game.
Do the job that the video sets out to do. IGN being the biggest gaming news site, you know, when they put out gameplay, you know, it gets seen by a lot more people, and when that's what people see, it's probably gonna make them go, I don't know if this game is for me,
Yeah.
which would be unfortunate if Redfall actually turns out to be a lot more fun than what that IGN gameplay shows it off to be. Now, there is other gameplay out there that seems to show Redfall in a better and more accurate light. Here is Colt Eastwood, for example, who
Okay.
tweeted, here's the Redfall combat montage I made. The gunplay is actually punchy, movement is swift, and combinations with powers are satisfying. This gameplay definitely just provides a much better impression and a much better feel for how the combat will actually feel like. So this is the footage that this guy shows.
All right, got his ass. Cool.
This looks a lot more fun, the way this is presented.
Yeah. That's cool.
Shows some weapon variety, shows what happens when you're able to, you know, actually hit your target,
Oh, what the
the
fuck?
kinds
That's
of cool things you can
badass.
do with your powers, the way combat flows as you kill one enemy to the next. And he
Yeah, like that's the difference. Like that actually looked cool. That first game, I was like, "What is this? Is this a joke?" You know?
What?
But yeah, it looked. It's night and day difference.
even more prominent enthusiasts have been expressing similar frustrations, like Tom Henderson here, owner of Insider Gaming,
Yeah.
covers a lot of like leaks and stuff. He tweeted that IGN first gameplay put me off this game, but this looks a lot better, referring to the Colt Eastwood gameplay montage. If I was a publisher, I probably wouldn't be using IGN first to show a first look at my game again after that. Not sure how that footage got approved, to be honest. I honestly have to lean towards that opinion a little bit of like how is this the impression you want to give? And on some level, I think there is an agreement that, look, we're going to cover your game, but you're going to have to let us cover it the way we want. You can't just go in there and nitpick what we can put out there, because then there's a conflict of interest where
Yeah,
you're
of course.
kind of almost like sponsoring at this point if you're telling us exactly how to, you know, cover the game, exactly what we can say and what we can upload. It's
Yeah.
like there has to be a level of freedom that a news outlet has to be granted for them to allow to do honest coverage. But at the same time, it's like clear.
I mean, this is a two-way street. I mean, yeah, true. But like,
Tak, to jest chyba nielegalne.
man. You know, like, it really, like, it probably wouldn't be that hard to hit a few more shots. People remember this? Yeah, it just makes them, and the thing is with IGN, like, fuck the publisher, who cares about them? IGN looks like a bunch of dumbasses.
They do.
That's the reality. They look like a bunch of idiots. Like, remember that one dude that couldn't fucking do the Cuphead tutorial? Do you guys remember that? And then somebody did a video of a pigeon doing it, and then him doing it, and then they put him on a fucking time trial against each other, and the pigeon won. So, I swear to God,
Red Ridge
I watched
Mountain.
this shit back like 3 years ago.
Red Ridge
So
Mystic.
yeah, of course this is how it happens. Yeah.
Do
show
casterów
you
to
videos.
najczęściej się pada.
my God.
41...
Oh my
Nie.
God. Look, I'll show you real. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. but
HC
real
Honor
quick,
Gurubashi
okay?
Warrior
Give me a second.
STV.
Don't worry about that.
O my
what is this here?
41.
Cuphead. For real. Pigeon.
Aj.
I don't know how to spell pigeon.
Gurubashi Warrior. Kur...
And you know what's you know what it's gonna be. Can't read? Nah, he gonna get it. Oh, look at that. See, that's a pigeon learning. Oh shit. I forgot this video was so short. I thought it was like 10 minutes. Okay. Oh man, almost. I mean for the pigeon, no. Like this guy's got a ways to go before he figures it out. And the best part is like the pigeon wins by a long shot. Like it's not even close. He made it. How about that? Good for him. Man. So yeah, this is not the first time that we've had this kind of a situation.
Clearly, there is a better way to show the game off than this IGN gameplay where the player is missing a lot of shots, just doing a lot of frantic things, a lot of running around, a lot of just not finishing enemies off, and it's just very unattractive gameplay that I don't feel really represents the game. It's the
Yeah.
polar opposite of the again, there's that spectrum that I
And it sucks because people will see that gameplay and then think that's the game.
talked about as the polar opposite of the Anthem style marketing of showing fake, spruced up, beautiful gameplay that isn't actually the game, but just this vertical slice that they build as a presentation, essentially,
Yeah.
for them to build the rest of the game around, with that as sort of the goal. And then there's this, where this is actually the game. They're playing a build of the game. It's actual gameplay,
Okay.
but, you know, when you're not playing the game proficiently enough to, like, give us a better idea for the gameplay flow than this footage does, where the gameplay flow looks so off and it's just so cumbersome, like, then that's a problem.
Well, it's not gameplay. It's just play. Like, he's not really playing a game. He's just walking around.
It just really puts down
They should hire the pigeon, yeah.
game's true capabilities and potential. It just makes the game seem worse than it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is still inaccurate, even if that wasn't the intention. So hopefully in the future we'll get just better Redfall gameplay. Hopefully Arcane will, like, upload a match among developers who know what they're doing. 4 players, switch between perspectives. Don't try to, like, cinematize it. Don't try to add, like, fake commentary like some live service.
I completely agree with this. The type of games that I like was like the Nintendo guy, where he's like, hey, making Breath of the Wild 2, and so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna play the game. So here I am in the game, and as you can see, I'm gonna take this stick and I'm gonna hit something. See that? Isn't that crazy? Wow, look at that. Let's go over here. Oh, look, I went up there. Isn't that cool? That's crazy. Yeah, you can do that in this game, by the way. What happens if you put a rock on the stick? Yeah, you can do that. There it is. Yeah, it's just that. It's not some massive fucking production. It's not some MLG montage with fucking Breaking Benjamin in the background. No, it's just, hey, this is the new game. Take a look at it.
Trailers do, where they
Uh-huh.
very meticulously pick out how the gameplay is played, and then they add voiceover in the background of players pretending, or actors pretending to be players who are communicating with each other, which comes off really artificial and awkward. Don't do that. Just play the game and then, like, upload cool bits of that, and you know, show us genuine commentary among players, if that's a thing. Genuine communication.
Yeah.
Just show us genuine gameplay that looks proficiently played. And that'll give us a good idea. At the end of the day, that's what players want. You know, they just want to know what they're in for when they're considering spending money on a game that they're interested in enough. Or at the very least, that's one man's take. Let me know in the comments
Yeah.
below what your thoughts and opinions are on the Redfall gameplay that we've seen so far. And Redfall in general, do you think it has potential? Is it something that you're still interested in? Are you on the fence? Or are you like, this is just not for me? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.
So, he's completely right. As someone who has had extensive experience in playing games wrong, whenever I played Wulong, I finished the game after like 3 or 4 hours, and I said it was complete fucking garbage. And the video went out, it got 500,000 views, and everybody was saying I was a fucking idiot. This is my Quantum TV moment. I don't like the game because I'm bad at the game. So I said, okay, fuck you. I'm gonna play the entire game. I'm gonna beat this entire fucking game. And you're gonna see that it sucks. And I sat there and I beat that entire fucking game. I beat every boss without any fucking exploits, without doing some weird leveling technique, some stupid fucking metagame bullshit. I played it without any help. And you know what? It sucked. But I fucking played the game. I finished the fucking game. I beat every boss. It was still a shit game. But it's like, at a certain point, sometimes you have to at least know what the fuck is going on. You know? And that's really all there is to it. Yeah, only to stand by your opinion. That's right, because I was right from the beginning. And that's what it is, man.
Kurwa.
So I don't know really what else. Like there was that. There was oh man, like how many other games have I had that happen with? Many times. Yeah, you were actually right. The game is dead. Less than a month, bro. Why did anybody think that I would be wrong about that shit? Like, I can't believe anybody. Like people were just so fucking delusional that they thought it was a good game. I told them it was bad. They didn't want to hear it. And guess what? I said time will prove me right. And you know what? It did. But the fact is that the first time ever I played the fucking game, I could have played a whole lot better. And it still would have sucked. And that's fine. But you can't expect people to watch you suck dick at a game and then think the game sucks dick. Some people are going to think that, and that's what's bad about reviews like this. But there's a lot of other people who are just going to think that you suck. That's it. So, once our games die after a month or so, oh yeah, I'm sure less people play it, but are we really going to pretend like anybody's going to give a fuck about Wulong in a year? People probably won't even know what it is.
Nawet ja nie wiem co
It's
to
gonna
jest.
be, but nobody's even gonna remember the game. Yeah, like, well, yeah. I mean, for real, like, what are y'all?
Chyba dwa się rzucą.
Come on.
Dwa się
And
rzucą.
what's this here? They don't die. People just finish the game as you intended. Yeah.
Nice.
I'll tell you that. Sure, of course, things go down in a single-player game, but I bet you compare that shit to Elden Ring or another single-player game, and it's gonna be a whole lot fucking different. But you're right. There is a spectrum there. It's a dead fucking game. It's a bad game. But you know what? I played it and I beat it in order to find that out. I think that the people over at IGN are doing the same thing. If you want to accurately and adequately review a game and give feedback on the game, you need to play the game at a high caliber. Or at least at a moderate level. Like I've said this before, what do you call it? Wulong is Elden Ring isn't single player. Bro, you never played Wulong. Just tell me that you didn't play Wulong. It's fine. Like, trust me, like, please keep it that way. Yeah, please. I played the game.
Nie.
Anyway, I'm just wasting my fucking time talking about that shit. The point is that I feel like for a lot of games, like for example, Remnant. How can I play Remnant and then maul about the game all the time, but then say it's a good game? How does that happen? It's because I know that I'm playing it on the hardest difficulty possible, making it as hard as for myself as possible. So obviously, whenever I do that, I am going to have a completely different experience than a normal person that just logs in and plays the game. Remnant is a great game. Remnant can suck dick if you're playing on the hardest difficulty, you've never played it before, you don't have the weapon upgrades, and you don't know what you're doing. Yes, the difficulty that they create through having more mobs inside of fights, absolutely fucking annoying. However, I think that it's still a very good game. So, that's what I think. Remnant's boring, enemies just bullet sponges. Yeah, but the game feels good to play. That's what matters to me. If the game feels good to play, then I play it. If the game doesn't feel good to play, then I don't play it. For me, things really are just that simple.
We had this happens very rarely, so when it does, it's
What was so crazy about this one
Nice, że
was
to
the
się
fact that it
włączyło.
just kind of happened out of nowhere.
Nice.
And also it was so good.
quite the event for fans of the genre. The game was called PAX Day, and according to its developer, it is a vast social sandbox, low fantasy MMO inspired by the legends of the medieval era,
Didn't they
with
show a
community
demon?
and emergent gameplay at its
I
heart.
mean, this is what I'm all about. I love this. This is some fucking Fellowship of the Ring shit here. Oh, man.
Now, initial reception for both of its reveal trailer and developer deep dive were very positive. Each video
People are
has
very
like
happy.
hundreds and thousands of views and is full of comments expressing interest in the game.
Yeah.
As for the game, what do we know? Well, the reveal did give us a few of the basics. It's an open world, player-driven survival sandbox MMO. The core loop of the game will involve the typical gathering materials, crafting weapons and armor, and building bases. We'll start in a region of the world known as the Heartlands, where we're free to build and craft in relative safety, and then, once we are prepared, we can venture out into the woodlands full of dangerous PvE enemies and the threat of other players, as the game does have PvP. We saw snippets of various systems.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty interesting to see what the difference is and like how PvP and PvE comes together in a game like this. I'm not really like, in general, my outlook on all games that have PvP that are MMOs is that every time that you make somebody PvP that doesn't want to, that's going to be a bad experience for that person, and they're going to be less likely to play the game afterwards because you're making them do something they don't want to do, and then, you know, punishing them for not being good at it whenever they get killed by somebody else. It just kind of sucks, right? And it's, again, like, not like these people are basically bad PvPers. You know, this might be somebody who's like, you know, platinum or diamond in League of Legends, but they just don't want to PvP in this game. And so forcing somebody into it is, I think, always a bad idea. But we're going to have to see exactly what this game really is like and, like, how much of that there is. Because, again, it's always theoreticals. It was the same thing with
Nice.
conversations about Ashen of Creation.
In the developer vid, there was some base building on display, a variety of different size and types of buildings, which include up to player-built cities. They have, in fact, said that every building in this game will be player-built. There were
That
crafting
is
stations
nuts.
with
Every building in the game is player built. What the fuck? I wonder what that even is gonna be like.
players making potions, weapons, and armor.
Oh my
We also saw
God.
refining stations like tanning racks and smelters. There were some shots of the UI, which showed us what looked to be work-in-progress equipment and inventory system. There was also a tab for skills implying some sort of character progression. And there were a few brief clips of combat
to
with
you.
players hunting wildlife, during which I'll say gameplay animations
How
look a
are you?
bit rough, but given that this
Oh, it doesn't look that good. Like, the gameplay doesn't look great.
See you around.
It looked, I mean, like, visually it looks great. But, I mean, it's okay. Great. This doesn't excite me.
game.
The
They
gameplay
haven't
doesn't
announced that
lose.
it's
I'm
launching
excited about
anytime
the game,
soon.
though.
And they've said that the combat
Not
is a
because of this.
placeholder. With all of that in mind, we'll cut the combat animations a little bit of slack.
Yeah.
They also discussed the game's use of
It's
low
not even an
fantasy,
alpha.
pulling from myths and
Have a
fables
good
from
one.
around the world. PAX Day will have magic, but it is going to be sparse. You won't be like spamming fireballs, for example. So that is a basic overview of what we learned about PAX Day during its reveal last month. Now, since then, tons of new information has come out through interviews, AMAs, FAQs, as well as some idle chat over on
Czy
the
ja ich
official
chcę
Discord
zabić?
channel. We know much more about PAX Day than we did just a few weeks ago.
Oni
We
rzucają
also know
siatki,
more
jak pamiętam.
about this. The sponsor of today's video, Tower of Fantasy. This is a free to
I was literally about to
Rzucają
say those
siatki.
mushroom guys look like the game in Tower the ones in Tower Fantasy.
Co jeszcze?
That's actually fucking crazy. Because I was like, bro, now
Jest ich
they know how it
trzech.
feels to steal, to be stolen from.
play shared open world MMO. The game features a large explorable world where players can team up to fight bosses, discover interesting locations, and unlock relic equipment together. It's got an interesting combat system where you can freely swap different weapons on the fly, and you can customize your own character
Ja
with a
sobie
super
jednego
detailed
spolimorfuję.
Now, the game recently got a major
Bierzesz
update
sobie
version
hairstyles
2.4,
for
which
guys.
adds a ton of new content. There's a brand new map, the Grand Sea. This is the first underwater area in the game. Here you
They're really pushing this game with a lot of marketing. I wonder how many people are actually playing it. Like, it has its own launcher, so there's no real way to tell. But how many people are watching this game?
38.
Kind of curious.
Dużo.
Let's see. Tower of Fantasy.
Nic nie miał.
Uh-oh. Maybe I missed it. I did. It has 800 viewers. That's not a lot. Yeah, I mean yeah, it's on Steam also. Is it? Let me see how many people are watching it on Steam or playing it on Steam. That's not very good. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Dobra, pobiegamy. To
Let's get back
teraz
to it.
tu,
But I do wonder how many people are actually playing it because like
potem
Steam is not.
naokoło do Westfall.
I'd say
Bo
maybe
tędy
it's
jest
not
niebezpieczny.
like even half of the people that play it, but I'm not sure.
You can explore the Grand Sea Island, the
It's on
innards,
mobile,
and the
so it probably
Dragon
has
Breath
100x now.
volcano. There's also
You
a
think so?
new boss, Ebola, located in that volcano.
Naokoło, bo i
Breath
tak muszę iść do
volcano. There's
Goldshire,
also a
nauczyć się
new
nowe
boss,
umiejętności.
Ebola, located
His name's Ebola? That's good.
in
That's a
that
good one.
volcano, which presents a new group challenge for you to overcome. There are two new characters, Lan and Icarus. Lan uses an energy-laden umbrella as a weapon, while Icarus has an icy yo-yo ball. There's also new story quests taking you on an adventure through the whole new zone. There are new
How
events
beautiful.
like the Grand Sea treasure hunt and
Wow.
even new mini-games to engage with. If you are interested in checking out Tower of Fantasy on PC or mobile and giving the new update a look for yourself, go ahead and use my link in the video description below. Okay, so now I want to dive into some of the nitty-gritty new details that have come out on the game. As I mentioned, a lot of this new
Can we please add Force Gaming to the list of people who's been sponsored by this fucking game? And I still haven't. This is fucking disgusting. I can't believe this.
information comes from a few sources. There were a couple of developer interviews that were done, as well as a published FAQ and an ever-growing AMA with some very chatty developers over on the official Discord. Let's start off with the game's inspiration. They have said that PAX Day is filled with gameplay elements that borrow from all sorts of games, from the survival genre and games like Ark Survival Evolved. But maybe more so is that the game borrows heavily from things like the economic model of EVE when it comes to the fact that they use geography-based scarcity and having this dynamic marketplace. To quote the developer directly, they said, being an MMO, harvesting and crafting are core pillars of the experience in the game, but
I feel like a lot of these people, they're like devs for video games, they're like designers, but they might not really play a lot of games. There are all the time people that have ideas of what would be really cool to have in a game, and then you put it in the game and it destroys the game. But theoretically, it sounds really cool if you don't think about how players will actually interact with it. So I always worry about that with new MMOs.
in our world, the weapons, the armor, the construction pieces needed for your village, these are all items that are
The devs look old and woke. So true, brother. Base. Fuck. Why are they woke? Because they're white? Like, what? What are you? Because they got glasses? Like, what are you thinking?
crafted and manufactured by the players themselves. So essentially, all of the things that you can gain access to in the world have been produced by someone else in the game. Having
I
recently
love the idea of that.
gone back to Albion Online, this is very reminiscent of what that game does. It's got this player-driven economy, but it's player
Oh, because there was a woman. That'll do it, huh?
fueled. Players touch every aspect of it. Anything that's involved in the trading system is something that a player either harvested, refined, or crafted themselves. And I think that makes for a real interesting experience, especially when layered on everything else. So the Heartlands, this is where things begin for us in the game. Players begin in these relatively high elevations among this green, foresty region known
Looks
as
nice.
the Heartlands. There, we will be working with other players in safety. We can, without much concern, build up small villages, join and create clans, plant crops, craft equipment, do some basic farming, gathering, hunting of wildlife, and the sight lines from where you are in the Highlands are going to be very purposefully.
Yeah, I mean, that looks really nice, man. Like, I really like the visual of this. I think it's very, you know, it's very comfy. I would want to build a house in this area. This is cool.
Long, they say. So you are elevated and you can look down amongst the world as it kind of goes into these deep areas, these cavernous areas, these dense woodlands, and those are all places they've said you can go. It's like the Skyrim pitch, right? You see that mountaintop, you can go there. Well, in this case, you start off on the mountaintop and you can go as far as the eye can see. What's even more interesting, though, is they say the different ways that they try to motivate players to get there, because it does seem like this is going to be a game where the further out you push, the more dangerous it gets. And I quite like the structure that they're talking about with this game, where you start off in this like safe haven, you build yourself up, you do all of the basics, and then once you're feeling brave enough and you feel like you have your equipment and you're prepared, then you start pushing out, you push down into these dense wooded areas and start the exploration. And the further you go away from the Heartlands, the more dangerous things get. It's a really cool kind of adventuring
Bronze
promise.
tube.
Let's
A to
talk about
nie-
I
ten, nie
mean,
kupuje
everything
się
about this sounds really
tego?
cool.
the questing. The game does not have a traditional MMO quest system. You are not
So you're grinding for mobs. Okay, got it. I played Black Desert. I understand that.
be picking up quests from NPCs because, as
Pamiętam, że u
mentioned,
niego
there are
kupywało
no
właśnie
friendly
Bronze
NPCs
Tube'a.
in the game. Only enemy NPCs. You will
Ale
not find
go
any
nie
quest
ma,
givers in
więc
towns.
lipa.
That's fucking nuts. So there's no NPCs in the entire game? What the fuck?
Dostanę
That's
2000
crazy.
expa, kurw.
That sucks. No. Like, to me, it's like if you want to try a new idea,
Lipa.
I'm all for it. Because the odds are it's gonna be fucked, and people are gonna fuck it even worse than. Think of the worst it could get fucked, and they're gonna do worse than that. But you know what?
King's honor, friend.
I think you
Okay.
should try it.
Deliveries to
Because there's
Sven.
usually a couple of
Safe
new
travel.
things that you get out of each of those games.
Ravenhill. Find out what is hunting
That's just
Ravenhill.
not what this game is doing. To quote directly
Go
here, they
with
say you
honor.
won't find any of the traditional MMO
Ale
NPC
to jest
cities, NPC
tam
quest givers,
iść.
or NPC vendors in the world, but you will find a wide selection of creatures and AI enemies in
Hermit
PvE.
to
Players
jest
will
Check on
inhabit
the
the
Old Man.
lands, build the
Need help?
towns, handle the trading,
Safe
do the
travels.
crafting. All of that is
Okay.
player driven. No
Ale ja
quest
tam nie
givers,
idę
however,
jeszcze,
does not mean
spokojnie.
no quest content, as the world will be filled with
Okay,
lore and
okay.
mysteries that require exploration, deduction, and collaboration.
Dobra,
But when
idę.
it comes to how that actually plays out in the game, you're gonna get quests from different items in the
Yeah.
world. So maybe you find some clues scribbled on a book or inside of a ring or carved
Teraz
onto
do
the
Goldshire.
surface of a piece of pottery. All of these will provide you a narrative drive, but also objectives to go towards based on whatever it was you found. Now, the exploration is said to be a big element of PAX Day. I'm really liking what I see here. So they said that when it comes to venturing out from the safety of the Heartlands, the next area that you go into is the wilderness, and there does seem to be an implication here that there will be things beyond the wilderness. Maybe we think of these almost as
But like, you know how like in PUBG, for example, whenever you would get to the next zone and you knew that you got there before other people, and you would just sit there behind a rock, and then you hear somebody that's walking up and you're playing in third person so you can see them, and then you go like bop, and that's it. So it's like, again, whenever I see new games like this, I am super fucking excited for them for two reasons. It's a new adventure, and it's a new adventure to exploit the fuck out of. That's the fun part for me, is figuring out all the things that you shouldn't be able to do that you're gonna do anyway.
different biomes, and the further you get,
That's
you
the
move into,
content.
maybe eventually you move into swamp, or you move into the desert or other areas. I don't know, that hasn't been confirmed, but I'm just hypothesizing
Yeah,
here.
sure.
There does seem to be the implication
A
that
whole
there
new
is an
world to
area
explore.
beyond
Yeah.
the wilderness. So in the wilderness, this is where things get more dangerous, more deadly creatures, and this is also where they're going to start playing with kind of the fantasy folklore inspiration. A direct quote from the developer here: "We don't intend to just expand outwards. More often than than not, we want to expand inward, actually doing things like making dungeons deeper. So say that you've been playing for a few years and then something happens in the world. Now you have a reason to go back because there was a door at the bottom of the dungeon that is now suddenly open, or an underground lake that is cleared, or a bridge that has been broken. Something changes and you have another reason to go back. This sort of
I like that. I think that's very cool. I know people are question marking this. I think that's awesome. Like, imagine if in like season
O,
of Mastery,
patrzcie,
you know,
nikogo
like
nie
in
ma. Nikt nie
BRD,
zabija princes.
where like you go
Lol.
in and like if you take a left, there's a door
Okay.
you can unlock, and then there's that big fucking fire giant. I think his name's Baelgar or some shit like that, and he's guarding a massive fucking door. Well, what if in season of Mastery, you could open that fucking door, and there's a whole new raid entrance in BRD again. There's a completely new one. That would be fucking insane. That would be so cool. So yes, I'm very much in favor of these ideas. With no reward at the end. No, it'll be another TCG Tavern. That's what you're gonna get.
dynamic evolution of areas is really, really cool. It's something actually that they're talking about doing with like Ashes of Creation, where with time, with certain events that take place, things in the world can change. And so that one dungeon that you went to isn't always going to be exactly the same, and different
Yeah.
paths can open up or paths can be closed down, like bridges breaking or rubble falling in, or a lake emptying, and then maybe there's a dungeon entrance at the bottom of what was once that lake. I love this dynamic environmental stuff, and I think there's a lot of potential of what
Yeah,
they can.
it's like you kill like for like, I think this be cool, right? It is so like imagine you're like descending into hell and there's like a fucking lake of lava. And then you have to defeat some fucking skeleton lord, and if you do that, he can chauffeur you across the lake of lava. Right after you defeat him and like free him from his eternal torment, he can go back to being the fucking you know, like the like it's Charon, right, from fucking Dante, the fucking Inferno, but or Hades, right? It's the same fucking guy. I think that's completely possible. It's totally possible. It makes complete fucking sense. It would totally work.
Do with this. Also, in terms of exploration, they were asked if they were going to have a fast travel system in the game, and they said that the game will feature different ways to get around, but as with many other parts of PAX Day, there will be limitations and trade-offs when using them. The goal is not to trivialize travel and the logistics involved, but to offer a way to play most content and join your friends within a reasonable amount of time. This makes me wonder if they're going to have some sort of public transport systems or some sort of traversal things, be it mounts or glider systems. World of Warcraft has ships that come and go, airships. There's a lot of different things you could do. Now, there are going to be survival elements in PAX Day. It isn't going to be one of those things where you have to keep up your thirst and hunger, but there
Thank
will
fucking God. I'm so sick of games that you have to keep up your thirst and hunger for. The only reason why I tolerate it in Valheim is because the different things that you keep up your thirst and hunger with are tactical decisions. If it's just a red bar for health and a blue bar for fucking water and then an orange bar for sleep, miss me with that bullshit. Take it out of the game, make it better.
will be food and drink in the game,
Sure,
but it
yes.
just appears like that is going to be more giving you buffs. So food maybe gives you health, and drink maybe
Valheim
gives you
food's a real
something like
choice.
more stamina. These are just some
Fuck.
possibilities. There's also building. We've talked about this. Base building is going to be a thing. It's going to be a very
Yeah.
big thing because all of the buildings in the game will be player constructed. They've
That's
said they've
nuts.
taken cues from games like Valheim. That's a great inspiration.
go,
Valheim.
Shire.
Thank fucking God. That's what I just said. It's a good game. Valheim's building was fucking
Failure,
amazing.
boys.
It was simple, it was clean, and it was great.
A fantastic game. I quite enjoyed the building. It could be cumbersome at times, but it was nevertheless addictive. And many
Yes.
of the 100 hours that I played Valheim were spent on just the base building. So there was some satisfaction to.
Couldn't be me. Could not fucking be me. But I tell you one thing, I have every single fucking weapon max level. Every piece of armor max level. Every boss dead. Every trophy obtained. My house a square.
be had there. They've said that the building in PAX Day looks much like what we've seen in other survival MMOs. Building blocks effectively snap together, allowing players to build anything from a
Stay
hovel
of the
shack on
Rose,
their
no to idę do
claimed plot of
Stormu.
land to elaborate villages, complete with keeps, churches, which are evidently going to play a role in the PAX Days world as well, and even building up walls and fortifications. I really love this idea, especially...
It's like you could have a fucking raid and it'd be like a goblin castle, and you would need to make a battering ram to get into the raid, but you could only make a battering ram inside of a siege workshop, but you could only make a siege workshop inside of a castle, and you could only build a castle out in the wilderness. Like, that's how you do it. In my mind, I think that's the smart way to do something like this. I'm open to people telling me why it's wrong, but I don't think it is. I think it's cool.
Knowing, because I haven't touched on this yet, but they're talking about worlds with thousands of players. They said 5,000 was on the low end. They're talking
Thank
about
God.
10, 20,000 players.
100,000
Now, when you hear
million
that,
people
though,
on
are they
one
talking
realm.
about phased out players or all players
all
within
in the
one
same
like
place.
instance? That's
All in
what
the
we
same
don't know.
place.
I should also add one big thing they've talked about with this game is that they're going to
Remember,
be
servers are technological limitations, and they add no function to gameplay other than making it worse. Servers suck.
doing a lot of this stuff cloud-based, and if they're using the cloud, if they're using server-side tech, then maybe that does mean we get player counts that high, but I'm not sure exactly
I'm
how
sure
that
they'll
is
do
going
the
to
one
play
thing
out.
that
But
no other
nevertheless, yeah,
game
we
has
got a
done.
full-on survival game, large
I'll
numbers
believe
of
it when I
players,
see
and
it.
we're going to have tons of crafting
Which, to
stuff
be
building
fair,
up
was
this
true with
world. That all
Ashes.
sounds really cool. Now, what about progression? They were asked about things like classes or leveling up and skill points and all of that, and their response was, there won't be any classes in the way you think about it. You won't choose one in the character creation and be stuck with that forever. But that being said, no classes doesn't mean no roles. There will be roles, but we don't have those full details yet. They can share the crucial element, though, that yes, this game will support the Holy Trinity. So tank, healers, support, DPS.
Thank God. Every game that doesn't support tank, healer, and DPS is fucked up somehow. And the games that don't still do. Like Lost Ark. Oh, there's no tank in Lost Ark? Well, why the fuck do you have a gun lancer then? Oh, there's no healer? Then why the fuck does everybody want to support for each group? Because they're fucking healers. That's why.
That Trinity is going to be a part of PAX Day. So a classless version of this that's going to have the Trinity leads me to believe it's going to be gear-based. So depending on the gear that you equip, that's going to change if you are filling that tank role, that healer role, or that DPS role. I enjoy these systems. I actually really like how they do it in Albion Online. I think that's a good template of inspiration for how to build a classless system that still has the holy trinity of roles for players to fulfill. As to the
I will even say that I think that it's relatively well done in New World. If you want to heal, level up your life staff, put on focus gear, put your points into focus, and play a life staff. That's it, and heal. If you want to tank, put on your fucking sword and shield, put on constitution and strength, heavy armor, and go to work. I think that's good.
leveling side of things, they said that they don't have a global character level, but they do have skills, and those skills have a leveling system. Now let's talk about PvP and PvE. They actually described what their intention was for PvP without being too specific. So they said they want to make PvP feel more dynamic and more about social structures, roles, and positions of power in player form.
Thank fucking God.
What can I do
am
for you?
so sick of people trying to make
Oh,
MMOs a
kurde.
fair PvP experience. Thank fucking God. Nobody is going to take an MMO seriously
Careful.
for PvP.
Ciul. Nareszcie mamy
MMO
Blinka.
PvP is a fucking joke. It's a joke every single game. Nobody cares about it. It doesn't matter. There's no prestige to it. Even the biggest MMO PvP games are irrelevant compared to even
Okay,
mid-level
mana shield.
fucking actual
Yes.
competitive games. Nobody gives a shit. Make it to where if you've got better gear and you got better stuff, you kill them. That's it.
No pomimo w rank 2 to nie jest to
Done.
samo, ten sam czas, a nie, jest 30 sekund.
You probably should have a little bit of scaling to where people that are new have at least a bit of a chance. Sure. But for the most part, better gear, better player, better person, they win.
Fireward.
that
O,
simple.
i to by się właśnie
Communities,
przydało tam.
instead of just
fucking
a
MMO.
static
It's
PvP
not a-
toggle
it's not
or
esport.
zone
Stop
restrictions.
trying to make
We
it an
don't want
esport.
PvP to feel like a separate mode and create a gap between PvE and PvP
Yeah,
players.
exactly.
PvP should be an integral part of the world and economy. We plan to offer players interesting and meaningful ways to opt in and dip their toes in PvP. The goal for them, they say, is to marry PvE and PvP together by offering opportunities for both to bring value to the party, be it facing the dangers of PvP or
This is probably not going to work, by the way. There's like a lot of people that play MMOs, like the kind of people that play MMOs to build houses don't want to go out and fucking on like some hunting party to kill people. Like in general, like those are two different audiences of people. And as long as you can allow them to exist, to coexist, I think the best thing about MMOs is that, like in Final Fantasy, somebody can be a main and all they do is like blacksmithing or like logging and professions, shit like that. I think that is so cool. I love that. But the truth is that you have to have an ecosystem that supports that.
creating the best gear for PvP players. The Heartlands will be restricted from any PvP fighting. Outside of that, players will have various options to choose if and how they want to experience PvP and how
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. Somebody says, what is this here? You can't mix them because people don't like being able to having to do either. I don't think that any of these games should try to focus on attracting people that only want to PvP with no PvE. Like, that's just not a good idea. It's not healthy for the game to attract a player base of people that are looking for that out of it.
how much they are willing to risk in order to do so. So really interesting talk here. Clearly they're saying that they don't want to force people into PvP, but they also want PvP to not feel like it's completely divorced from the rest of the game. And again, I keep
This
going
is
back.
an extremely hard balance to strike that almost no game does properly, and I would probably say almost no game does do it properly. And I think that they're going to need extensive, massive testing, huge amounts of time, like longitudinal studies to see exactly how people are responding to systems. Because truthfully, like, people are going to do what they're going to what they're going to do, but the systems are what causes them to do those things.
To it, but a great example in my mind is what Albion Online does, where they have these very distinct regions that are all part of the main world, and depending on where you venture into, you will know if PvP is going to happen, what sort of PvP, if it's full-on PvP, if it's loot dropping, if there's any sort of safety, if flagging is involved. There's some just very distinct borders to all of these things. So I guess I'm just going to be really curious. They did say they don't want to have a static PvP toggle or zone restrictions, but in my mind, those are the two main ways you
how
do
you
it
do it?
if you're not trying to force people into PvP. So I don't know. I'm very intrigued as to what they intend to do with this. PvP isn't all there is. There is going to be PvE content in the game, quite a bit actually. You're going to, of
Dungeon
course,
and
fight
raid.
wildlife and then use various parts of them towards crafting, maybe even food and drink. The
Yeah.
PvE content is going to be getting more challenging as you push further and further away from the Heartlands. Or
I hope they have large-scale raids, like 20, 40, 50 people in the raid. I just think it's cool whenever there's a lot of people that are fighting a dragon. I don't really care if it's hard or not. I just think it's cool. Like in classic WoW, you have like 40 people there and they're doing like molten core and it's like everybody
Eliza,
there.
o kurw.
I don't know, I think that's cool.
To jest trudne.
Like that's all there is to it for me.
as they've touched on, as you go deeper down into dungeons when they continue to expand them. And they have also confirmed we will be getting not only dungeon content, but raid content as well. So you might have got the assumption early on that this is like a primarily PvP focused game with the survival crafting stuff, but no, sounds like they're gonna have a lot of content for PvE fans that isn't just doing crafting. They also mentioned that the gameplay that they've shown is just work in progress. They're gonna be doing some
I
big
would hope
overhauls
so.
to it. This is more like a proof of concept what we've seen so far, which I think should also have us set our expectation as
Which
to
again, guys, like, I know that some people are going to get sold on these graphics, but bro, we have seen the Unreal Engine people make this, and there's some fucking 48-year-old designer with like a black t-shirt and white hair and glasses and like spiked up hair, and he makes this in like 13 seconds, and everybody is like, whoa! So I'm not gonna just completely lose my mind over the graphics, but it's pretty cool that we're coming into this new age where things look this nice.
How far along this game is in development, or even more so, how far away it is. And they did touch on this in their FAQ. They said there's no date for PAX Day's release, but
Thank
as soon as
God.
they know, they're going to let everyone know, and they're currently going through alpha testing, which you can sign up for right now on their website. You know, I'm not surprised that this game has seen so much excitement behind it. I think there's a lot of really cool and interesting things. This pitch that they have of, hey, we've got like a bunch of industry veterans. We've worked on MMOs. We're finally making the game we've always dreamed of. We've heard that a lot, and a lot of
Yeah, we
times that
sure
doesn't
have.
really seem to come to bear. We don't really end up seeming to get maybe what that lofty goal is. But it's certainly possible, and you know, the one
I think people should keep trying, though. Keep trying. Eventually, somebody will get it.
one real positive check mark for this game is they have a lot of really good backing here. One thing that's been brought up a lot is the fact that they've made quite a bit in funding. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it's something like $30 million.
That's a lot.
Which is and isn't a lot of money, especially when it comes to developing an MMO, especially when you consider the length of development, typically somewhere in the ballpark of 5 to 7 years long. I'm imagining 30 million isn't going to take care of the salaries as well as all of the other expenses that are associated with development over the course of the next 5 years. And
I mean, if it takes 5 years, it's not a lot. He's right about that.
more funding will have to come from somewhere at some point, because a lot of the MMOs we know and love and play were somewhere in the vicinity of like $100 million to $500 million for
Oh,
the
no
cost
doubt.
of development. So in that context, 30 million or
That's how much
so
it costs for
that
like a
they've
Genshin
raised
patch.
doesn't seem like that much money. But I'm not trying to down this. I just think it's the main point is it's still early days. There's still a lot to be worked on, most certainly. There's still a lot to be improved with time, and we're still probably many, many years away from release. But it sounds cool. Lots of interesting promises, and we'll see how they all pan out. That's going to do it for this video, though. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Look, if they want to fucking alpha test this fucking game, all they have to
Place
do
King.
is just message me. And you want to know what's wrong with the systems? Give me and all the viewers the code. We'll log in. We'll figure out what's wrong with them. Yeah, we'll figure that out real quick. Don't worry about it. They just got to get the game ready and put it out there and let us play it. That's it. Break the game for free. That's the fun part. That's fun. Like, fuck, man. That's enjoyable for me. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Absolutely. What's wrong? It doesn't work. I mean, that's a good start. Exactly. Yeah, you let us exploit it. That's what it is. And, yeah, gamers so much smarter than devs. It's not that gamers are
Shit.
smarter than devs. It's that there are, you know, like 10,000 people that are going to be beta testing a
Chrysta.
game like this. Somebody said in chat they have 22 employees. Guess what?
8 osób w
Those
kolejce.
people can't think of every
Boż.
interaction. It's the same as like in PoE, there's always something that's fucking broken that needs to get fixed. In WoW, there's always something that's fucking broken that needs to get fixed because you've got so many tuning knobs, it's so complex, there are so many variables, it is impossible for them to be able to get every single one to come together. So yeah, I think this is probably what they should do. It's not necessarily a, you know, it's not a condemnation if a game is not perfect on release. But I think that it's about how you adapt based off of that. You know, players also try to do things outside what the devs intended as well. Yeah, exactly. As a dev, we sometimes get tunnel vision on an idea that we won't let go of even though it doesn't work. Oh, so I guess you work on World of Warcraft. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I've been very aware of that for many years now. Yes, and you know, this is another trap that developers fall into, is that they have the intended way that they want. They have like, well, we want this to be in the game because we want people to do this. Well, what if the people don't want to do it? Whoa. I mean, but we
Ja
want
pierdolę,
them to do
7
that.
rano i
Well,
patrzcie
they
ile
don't
ludzi
wanna
tam
do it.
stoi.
So
Ja nie mogę.
and that's the difference. The
Ja nie
vision
mogę.
is always very nice and cute. But the moment
Dobra, idę
that
zobaczyć
vision
tego.
hits an actual fucking player base, it had better be ready to
Odmurkaj.
change.
Ja go
Because
nie
if it
zabiję,
doesn't, the game dies.
ale
You have
może
to look
ktoś
at
mi
reality,
pomoże.
yeah. Let's see here. And you don't have a game. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. We don't want to do bounties. Exactly. Yeah, there you go. YouTube's new link policy that they want to implement? No, I guess I could look at that. Sure. This is a good video by Force. Holy shit, I love these videos. They are great. I can't believe he got a sponsorship for Tower of Fantasy. This is just fucking outrageous, man. God damn, man. Possible thing of developing everything whenever you develop a game. Yeah, exactly. The thing is, it's in my mind, what determines if a game will be good or not is like that's why I'm very, very hopeful about a game like New World, Blue Protocol, and I'm less hopeful about Lost Ark. You want to know why? It's because the devs refuse to change the fucking game. Nobody wants to sit there and do 2 fucking Chaos Dungeons on 6 characters. That's stupid, but they keep making people do it. Why? This is stupid. Like, what are you doing? Why? What's wrong with you? Why do we have Phaons? The fuck? Path of Exile doesn't have Phaons. They have trading and it's a free game too. Why the fuck can't you do it? It's embarrassing. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about it, but that's pretty much the way I feel about it. Make more money off of whales. Yeah, well that's the thing, is that if that's their goal, then the goal is, you know, counter to what the players want to see. So yeah. That's why you need to play like 6 characters? Yeah, exactly. And Lost Ark is a great game being held back by dog shit systems. Yeah, you know who makes dog shit systems? The developers, the designers, the Smilegate. That's the real problem. The real problem isn't fucking Amazon. It's Smilegate. Because of the way the game plays. They did that. So yeah. And I think that if they want to make it better, they're going to have to. And that's why I'm very positive about something like Blue Protocol. Is that people said, hey, yo, leveling fucking sucks, gathering sucks dick, and it doesn't
Jak
work very
pamiętam,
well.
on
And
się
they're like, oh
respitu.
yeah, we agree, we're going to make it better. Oh, okay, great. Well then, maybe this game will be good one day. Almost no game is good on release. Amazon has its problems too? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, but you take Amazon out of New World, or sorry, out of Lost Ark, and you still got a problem. Like that's it. Smilegate doesn't care about English version, Korean version is what they make their income from. I mean, that's fine, but you still gotta do that same stupid shit in Korea too. Like, I know people really like the game over there, that's great, but I still wouldn't play it the way they do. That's what it is. Even Elden Ring needed patches? Yeah, there you go. Every game should have New World Gathering system. Yeah, New World Gathering system is phenomenal. Let's see here. What's this new YouTube link thing? Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, I'm very excited about that PAX Day game. Obviously, hopefully we will be able to play it sooner than later. YouTube new link policy. What's this? I mean, what is this like? Yeah, where's it? Where's the video for it? Cause I'll look at this and pick it up, but I gotta find it. Check Twitter. Oh my God, you gonna tweet it at me? Who cares? Me. That's why I'm looking for it. What do you mean? Who cares? Why would you even ask that?
1500 expa.
Let me see if I can find it.
A nie ma tego.
Ah, fuck. I don't see it. Yeah, I'm just scrolling down my mentions. People just send me stupid shit. So yeah, I mean, I guess we're not going to be able to find that. Watch the Big Booba? Oh God. I'll wait for this game to actually have real gameplay, and then maybe I'll watch it. We're not going to look at it right now. But yeah, I mean, YouTube is always trying to change and do other kinds of weird, crazy shit.
51.
Let's see
Oh
here.
shit. Dark Iron.
Hopefully,
Oh
just don't change
shit.
anything. Just let the game be what it is, or let the website be what it is. This is my biggest concern. This is for Blue Protocol. All right, let's see it. I'll watch that too.
What's up, guys? I don't usually do this, but I wanted to preface this video by providing some additional context. What you're about to view is a VOD from a live stream after the subject of concerns with Blue Protocol came up. After playing the beta test for 40 hours last week, I had only one other major concern
I think they have to add more character
Close, jak na
options. I feel like there's not
51
enough.
ktoś padł.
outside of the drop raids, and I'm really surprised
Ale
that
to
no
musi
one
boleć
has been
jak
actually
chuj.
talking about this. I'm posting this video to shed some awareness on this issue in hopes that we will have a better, more improved version of Blue Protocol. This is a game I'm super excited about and I'm super hopeful for. This is precisely the reason I feel it's even more important to be critical about this game, especially pre-release, where changes can actually be made.
Yeah.
Catch me on Twitch if you want to chat with me personally. I'm streaming Blue Protocol content regularly and will continue to do so until launch.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
One of the things that I don't think is being talked about enough, a lot of people are focusing on like the
Okay.
progression path right now with Diablos, excuse me, Blue Protocol, right? A lot of people are focusing on this adventure board, the drop rate, and I've already
Yeah.
voiced my opinion on that. I was like one of the first people in the West, probably the first person in the West, live on stream that was talking about how this needs to be changed, right? That's been addressed.
Yeah. Canon was one of the first people
The
playing
thing
the
that
game.
isn't
That's
getting
true.
talked about enough in the West, that is, in my opinion, a bigger concern than the leveling, is the itemization. It's honestly, I'm trying to think of other games right now, but it might be the I'm not gonna say bad. The word I'm gonna use is lackluster. I think it's honestly the most lackluster itemization in any MMORPG I've ever seen. So let's break this down. What is the itemization like? A lot of you know, a lot of you guys in chat that play the beta test, you know, a lot of you guys that saw my stream, you guys know because I've voiced this
Yeah.
a number of times. Not only on stream, but I also voiced it in my YouTube video. So right now, the system, this is how it is. There's no armor in the game. You have a weapon, and that's it. Outside of the weapon, you have imagines. Okay, you have 7 total imagines. I believe 7. 5.
You only have a weapon. But like, what if you like? I mean, if you're like a knight, like, what are you wearing though? Like, you've got armor on. Like, what is the armor? I think that again, some people try to become, you know, it's like, oh, they're gonna be so open-minded. Oh, we're so open-minded. Yeah, don't be so open-minded. Your brain falls out. What the fuck are you thinking? Not having armor.
Passives, 2 actives. Those imagines work like enchantments
Gosh.
on gear. That's the best way that I could put it.
Sure.
They're enchantments. You have a weapon, you add an enchantment to that piece of gear,
Got it.
you get stats that are added to it,
There it
right?
is.
So one imagine they have just a bunch of stats that they add to your character's power. So think of it that way. You can think of them as accessories too, I guess.
Sure.
I guess you can think of them as accessories. Regardless, that is how your character gets stronger. That is how your character, that is where your character draws its power from.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the imagines. So these right here are your passive imagines. As you can see, they're levels, right? And then these 2 are your active imagines. The active imagines, they're the same thing as these passive ones. They're the only difference is that you could actually use these as active skills. So it's a little.
I think that as long as they have pieces, like items that you are customizing to improve and personalize to the way that you want to play the game, whether that's called a helmet or an imagine, I don't really give a fuck. But it's about how the game plays and how many different ways there are to play the game. Because if you only have like 1 or 2 ways to play every single class, then, I mean, fuck, this is going to become
out
kind of
of range.
boring because there's only like 5 or 6 classes or something.
A little bit different. Okay, so if we look at these imagines, once again, all you do is craft them by unlocking the recipe, by farming, and then you upgrade them. That's it. Like
Wow.
it's that simple.
Incredible.
There's no like there's nothing else to the imagines once you get it. These active ones are the same. Exactly the same. The only difference is you equip them in a different slot and then you can use
I kind of assume that this will get fixed because we only played up to level 20. But if this is the way it is, even at max level, it's going to be problematic.
them. Okay? So, outside of the weapon, we're going to talk about the weapon here in a sec. This is it. This is the itemization and the gearing process for Blue Protocol. Okay, so now let's talk about the weapon. Well, the
It's
weapon...
like there's so many games that have a better, like, it's like, how many games have this low of a level of customization? I'm sure there's some out there, yeah, like Sekiro, for example, but most games are much higher than this, especially for MMOs. Final Fantasy, that's a good point. Yeah, Final Fantasy is pretty cookie cutter.
Works the same way at its base. It works the same way as the Imagines, where you get the recipe and then you farm the mats and then you upgrade and you craft the weapon, right? The only difference is when you craft the weapon, you're gonna have these 4 slots, right? You're gonna have slots anywhere from 1 to 4 slots. And if you get a great success, you can get anywhere from like 2 or 3 or 4 up to 4 slots that you can have. Which,
Okay.
by the way, you can use a cash up item for. By the way, we're going to talk about the monetization here in a little bit at the end of the segment. I want you guys to understand the itemization first. So I'll actually, probably shouldn't have mentioned the cash out part yet. So you've got these sockets, okay? 4 sockets. And on top of this, you have these plugins. And you can think of these plugins like gems, and you can think of these sockets, right? Gems that go into sockets as they do in a lot of games, right? These gems, quote unquote gems, the plugins, they have a level from 1 to 5. And you like that's it. That's it. You get plugins anywhere from level 1 to 5, right? And you socket them into your gear depending on the amount of sockets that you have. If you're expecting more, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that's it. That's why I'm saying the itemization.
That's crazy. Wow. Oh my god. It's lit. Well, I mean, it's probably be fun for a month. I mean, fuck. I mean, if they just keep it that simple, play that shit for a month, then they're done.
To me, it's a bigger
bro,
concern.
Like, you think it's a week? You have not played this fucking game. It's gonna take you a month.
Than the actual leveling. They've already addressed the
me.
leveling and the drop rates.
Trust me,
I'm okay.
y'all fucking say it's gonna be a week. Remember whenever I said it would take me 6 months to get everything in Lost Ark, and it took me 6 months? It's gonna be a month if it's like this.
With the WoW pacing, I actually like the WoW pacing. I'm confident that they are going to fix the adventure boards and the drop rate. This, in my opinion, is the bigger problem with Blue Protocol that I'm really hoping that they fix. For me, itemization in an MMORPG is extremely important. Unless I completely missed something, which maybe I did, guys. Maybe I did because it was in Japanese. I was trying to translate. But nothing I've seen would lead me to believe that I missed something in regards to this. Here's the other issue with the monetization, okay? I have no idea what the heck they're gonna do right now. It's like I can't even call this game pay to win. I'm not sure what's happening here, because when you look at what they're actually monetizing in some of these tickets that they have, now you're fighting. Oh well, is it gonna be pay to win, or is it gonna be too boring for a free-to-play player? What do I mean by that? Here's what I mean. Okay, so currently in the beta test, the only way you can get more sockets is by recrafting your gear. So you're just gonna farm over and over again. You're gonna recraft over and over again, hoping for. Oh, I did forget to mention.
Oh my god, more Gambit shit. I don't know why you can't just upgrade your gear and make it better. Like, why can't we just upgrade the gear? Why is it so hard? Why can't you just upgrade the fucking gear? Like, really, why? I don't get it.
that there is an affix that's attached to the weapon on top of the sockets, right? So like this little 13%, I think it's this 13%, I think it's this one here, that's like extra damage to like whatever character. Like let's just say spider mobs. You get extra damage to spider mobs on this weapon. And as you roll your sockets, that value goes up and down as well. So right now you have to recraft your gear over and over and over and over and over again in order to hopefully get a great success to have 4 sockets.
Is
Now
that what it's
there
called?
is an
Great
item in the
success?
cash shop that will allow you
Game
to
was written by
enhance
Borat.
your great success rate, which would in turn give you a better chance of having 4 sockets on your weapon. That's been said. That's been already confirmed
Borat
by
came
the devs in the dev stream. You can purchase an item that will give you a higher success rate, great success rate, that would give you a better affix roll, and it would give you a chance at having more sockets.
Wow.
All right? Call
So
that
you
as
can
you
buy
will.
that.
That's
Okay.
in the game. There's also socket tickets in the game. There's an actual socket feature. I'm not going to, maybe I can pull it up. Right here. I think it's like this option right here. It's either this one or this one. And that one of those options, that option is the option to socket your gear. So you can add sockets to your gear using a ticket. They're monetizing.
That seems fine. I mean, you just buy the ticket, you put the thing on the gear. I mean, I don't know. I think that's kind of fine. All right.
Great success rate tickets. But then they also have tickets that
Sure.
allow you to actually get additional slots. We don't know if those slots are, we don't know if that second ticket where you get additional slots, we don't know if that's being monetized or free-to-play players can get it. We don't know. If it's in the form of a ticket, I feel like you will be able to purchase it. But let's just look at this, okay?
I wish more games took the approach that, like, you're starting to see New World take, you're seeing, Final Fantasy takes, Lost Ark takes, minus the other monetization, which is like, you can buy what is effectively a subscription to the game that will allow you to bypass a lot of annoyances, but you can still play it free to play. Because I do think that nowadays, a game like an MMO like this needs to be free to play to succeed. You can't require people to spend money in order to start playing it. Because a lot of people would want to try it out and see what it's like. But why the fuck would you try it out if that requires paying $20 or $40? Whenever you can try out 100 other fucking games that you don't have to spend that much money for.
You have a great
how it is.
success enhancement ticket, and then you have socket tickets. For me, this is confusing because the whole purpose of a great success roll is to get a better affix and to get 4 slots. So what is the purpose of having the socket ticket if that's being monetized as well? So the answer to that, from a pay-to-win perspective, would be, well, great successes don't guarantee you 4 sockets.
Yeah.
From my understanding, they don't guarantee you 4 sockets.
Well, you're never going to allow people to spend money on a game. It's always a mistake for a developer to allow people to calculate the amount of money they have to spend in order to win in the game. It's always better. Like, that's what killed Diablo Immortal, is because if people couldn't figure out how many 5 stars they needed and how often they could get a 5-star, and it's like a lot harder to math this out in their head. It's like, well, how much money is it really? It's so theoretical, you're not really sure. But the moment that you start actually getting down to, it's going to be $7,840 at best and $10,115 at worst. That's it. Well, then you're like, well, I don't want to spend $7,000 to play this fucking game. This is stupid. I'm not going to play. But if you think that you can spend $100 and make $1,000 worth of progress, you're going to do that. You know why? It's because all of these games simulate gambling. That's how they make money.
So let's say you get a great success and you unlock 3 sockets, then that ticket could maybe unlock that last
4,
socket.
8,
that's the
12,
case, then
16,
It's kind of
20
forcing you into
minut.
paying to win.
20
But
minut
let's
i
say
kończę
you
streama.
can get those tickets for free in the game. Let's just say that's kind of best case scenario. It seems like, right? Let's
I
say
feel like if there is something that you have to buy as like a one-time thing, after, like for example, stash tabs and PoE. I think this is the best comparison. I am completely okay with stash tabs and PoE because by the time that you have played the game enough to need stash tabs, you have received hours upon hours upon hours of entertainment. And if you don't want to buy the fucking game and spend money on it, then that's up to you. But you can't say
Czy
that
ten
that's gotta
quest
be
daje
you know,
1350 expa, czyli to jest zabicie 13-14 mobów.
Like afford an office if nobody gives them money. Doesn't work that way.
you can get these great success scrolls and you can get these socket tickets in the game for free. Well, then that's nice, right? Well, yeah, it is, but at the same time, no, it isn't, because then progression is so easy. I mean, it kind of depends on how you get the socket, but that's where the balance comes in. If you make the tickets, like if you make it so that the tickets are just purchasable like that,
Yeah.
then people are going to complain if
Because
it's
people are gonna they're gonna get all the sockets. That's just how it is. Yeah, 100%. Somebody in chat says the problem with stash tabs and PoE is they purposely make the base stash crap. That's making inconvenience to promote spending. Yes, and that's a good business decision. I know you don't like that, but they have to make money. It's a good business decision. How do I know that? Because they're making a lot of money.
way too difficult to get them the free-to-play way. But then if it's easy to get if they're easy to get the free-to-play way, then what the
$5,
hell is the itemization in this game? Where's the challenge in actually upgrading your gear? We haven't talked about the plugins yet.
There's no
Okay.
challenge in upgrading any gear in Lost Ark. It's just, oh, I hit the shiny button, did I? Nope. Okay, I hit the shiny. Oh, nope. Oh, I got it. Wow, I knew I'd get it. Let's do it again. Oh, did I get it? Nope. Repeat.
You see, does that make sense? So let's say you could get all these tickets for free. Reasonably easier.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden the value of having four sockets in your gear with a high affix, it's fucking easy. You're gonna get it like that, right? It's gonna be super easy. So now the itemization and progressing your character and getting gear becomes extremely boring. But then, you know, if you make it difficult to get, then well, now it's pay to win because I could just buy it and get it like that. And then I'm running into the same problem again because I
Yeah.
could buy it. Now I still have nothing to do.
Nobody
so
cares.
that in
Yeah.
itself, to me,
There's like nothing to
It's
work
like-
for in the game.
it's very concerning. So maybe you're thinking, well, yeah, that's just one part of it, Kenny. Well, it's 50% of it actually. Well, it's 33% of it. If you we already talked about the imagines, how easy that shit is. There's literally nothing to the imagines other than just unlocking the recipe and crafting it. There's nothing there, okay? That's it. You
I want to contextualize all of this. In Lost Ark, in Tier 1, you don't have all of your engravings. You don't have gems. I think you do have a card set at that point, but it's like effectively non-existent. You don't have a lot of your skill points unlocked. You don't have your bracer. You don't have, you don't have your set that you choose, and basically you don't have your tripods. That's true. Like, you're missing so many of these features in the game that you only really encounter in Tier 3, which in Lost Ark is like level fucking like 100 in this game, or level 50 in this game. So keep that in mind. So like, this is low level gaming. I think that what Canon is worried about, and what a lot of other people are worried about, is that this is all there's going to be. So if they showed more of the end game and there was more features that you could customize and upgrade, I think nobody would care.
get it and then you equip it, you're done. The weapon that has a little bit of build diversity and a little bit
Yeah.
more than just crafting the weapon, you only have two elements to it. You have the sockets and the plugins. Okay, so let's talk about the plugins. So the plugins, they come from a rating of 1 to 5. And from my understanding, you can buy reroll tickets for your plugins.
O, co on kurwa ogląda. Nuda.
What's good, pussy, huh?
360, whatever, right? I'm gonna throw that right now into all in right here on green. And if this hits, it's literally written in the stars.
Dude's name is Tyler McTurtle. Like, holy fuck.
Oh,
Motherfucker gets a soy
I
latte
cash out
every
as
morning.
soon as this hits.
Little
If this hits, I
bitch.
cash out. This could save my night. This could literally save my night.
Tyler McTurtle. Fuck me. Jesus Christ. Have some humility.
Yes! What the fuck?
What? What happened?
I just hit green with my all-in affiliates, and I fucking took it, and I fucking hit green, and now it's 5,000. Train, you should have been in this.
Yeah, no fucking shit.
All
Well, I
right,
just got
dude,
drained
50K
55
more.
G's. Fuck no.
I'm kidding, dude.
Never depoting ever again.
I'm sorry, dude. Wait a minute. Double. No, wait, it's no.
Is that like on this site?
Train double green. We would have been rich, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm never depoting again. I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm never depoting again.
Oh, bro.
Not even a
Oh.
single fucking penny in my depot.
Bro,
again.
double green.
Ever again.
And I'm gonna go for the triple right now.
Enjoy that 55 G's you got.
Oh,
I'm done.
bro. No, listen, guy. We got you, dude. Wait, you have a rake back though.
Nah, I
Check
don't
your
want
rake
shit.
back.
I don't want shit. I don't want shit. You give the
Sorry.
summit. Give my rake back and my shit.
Are there cases on this site that are like ones you should not do? Because there's cases on the
Bro,
other one
I am
where it's
so-
like, nah, that's not a good one for anybody to
No
win,
way.
like low chance.
No way. Triple green, bro. Train. Triple fucking green. We're fucking. Are you crazy? Are you kidding me, bro? It's fucking triple. Are you fucking? I'm so sorry. I'm fucking sorry, bro. We left you.
Oh, sorry. The site should be sorry because they just lost one of the biggest whales they would have ever had. Like,
Oh
I'm
my
done.
god. Okay.
Teraz.
So wait, how much you got now?
I got 7K from 300. All on greens. And I'm four times the charm. I am sorry, bro. Oh, Trin.
I'm out of here.
No,
Chat, is there like boxes I should look for?
I'm done.
no, man.
Fuck that pussy shit.
No, listen, dude. Hey,
No,
man.
bo nie
like,
zlutowali.
All right, dude.
They all
I'm gonna
pretty
get your
good.
money back, dude.
Nah, I don't want my
I'm
money
gonna
back.
fight for you. I'm gonna fight for you.
Nah, I got my high. I'm happy.
Bro, I cannot believe you just missed it. You know what would have been crazy? If you hit the green, you would have been in each one of these at least 1,500, bro.
Can I just
Give that
open
knife.
some by myself,
I'm
maybe?
gonna win from that
No.
wager. Just tell them to give it to your chat.
4:30
Yeah.
już, no i za...
Popular.
Absolute dog shit. Trash. I can't hit green for fucking 30 minutes straight and then fucking Joe
I
Schmo's
know,
going there in
bro.
3 in a row. Suck my cock.
It hit the triple fucking green, bro. We were just
Suck my
talking
cock.
about it, bro. I'm so sorry, bro. I feel bad because I got you
That's some,
fucking.
that's
I
some
brought you
pragmatic
in.
level scamming shit.
That's
some
actually
pragmatic
no,
level.
that's like early push gaming shit, dude.
That's some early. That's some hack stop 4,000 bonus bullshit. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Does it sell? How do I sell it?
Fuck that site. Fuck all this sites. Fuck CS:GO. And fuck CS:GO gambling. Pussies.
I love you, dude.
No,
Oh,
fuck
I love
that
you
shit.
so much. I cannot believe it hit the triple green, dude. That's just like.
Hey, does
Fuck
this
on you,
site
Joe.
automatically put the total? I don't have to sell it when I
Oh,
win it?
the
It
fias.
automatically sells it?
So the gem, so what do you no, all gems, and when you go to withdraw, that's where you decide if you
Yeah, I
want
got
to
you.
withdraw
So
it.
I don't have to hit sell on every single thing.
Yeah, you
Gotcha.
have to sell every time, man. I can't believe you didn't join me in on that shit.
I mean, I never even bet green on roulette.
The tsunami case is a good. You know which one I like?
Oh, give me
There's
that.
one called
Nope.
Well, there's one more expensive and there's one that's cheaper. The one's called Pro Loadout and Doppler one. But I would look at the odds of all of them and just pick some nice ones. So
I'm just gonna open up some cases, chill out for a little bit.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna go have breakfast, guys. Train, I love you, dog.
Yeah, my business email is always on my
I'll see
Twitter,
you
man.
guys soon.
So I was like, are you out of here?
Yeah, I gotta have breakfast right now because the
yeah.
fast starts and
Yeah.
I don't know if, dude, I gotta watch the kid. Fuck, dude. I don't even know if she's having contractions still. I haven't checked up on her once.
No shit. I mean, sure she would hit you
Husband
up.
Ktoś mi coś napisał chyba.
She'd hit you up.
What if she gives birth to the baby right now, like in our bedroom?
You just walk out there and there's a baby.
There's an extra baby. I was like, wait, there's 3 here. It's supposed to be 2.
We're getting smoked on this case. I don't like this case. I haven't seen a single thing that gives me my money back yet.
Albo nie. Nie wiem. Kurde, tych powiadomień...
I don't think I've laid eyes on a thing that gives me my money back yet.
Oh wait. Oh, Jason R's here. Jason.
O, odrzucono moje podanie, ta?
Say Phenom left you something nice in there.
Let's try a different one. Let's do this case. How do I go back?
Się bardziej bądź kreatywny. A to się pierdolcie. Ej, nie chcecie ludzi na swoim serwerze, no to podanie niechlujne według nich. Wiecie co? To fuck you. Co ja kurwa mam być poetą? No bez jaj.
If I win this bet tomorrow, my sports bet I just made on. If I fucking hit the sports bet tomorrow, I'm back, bro.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
20,
dude.
25k to 370k.
That's easy work for you, dude.
I think the toughest game is the Inter Milan game. If Inter Milan can win, I'm fucking back.
How many team parlay?
6.
Oh man, you guys hooked me
you
up
do
with the
crazier
CS:GO
shit,
roll
dude.
balance. Oh shit,
I
man.
stopped doubting you when I saw you hit like a 12-team parlay.
Yeah,
I
well,
stopped doubting you back
To
then.
be honest, I'm like
Let's
3
hope
Odrzucili moje podanie na Five City w GTA RP.
I think
Bo
Man
według
City
nich jest niechlujne, jest za mało wysiłku, bla bla bla. Kurwa, wiecie co?
game versus Inter Milan is really fucking
Mam to w
If Inter
dupie.
Milan can somehow clutch
I'll be
this
honest,
up,
I'm gonna
they
lose it all
fold it.
anyways, so I appreciate you. Thank you.
Guys,
saw
please, if you're
Yeah,
watching
just
all
do
the
this for
chats,
fun,
guys,
so.
I don't give a fuck what any site says. Please,
I'm not gonna
please,
take it on these
do not
skins, I don't
gamble.
Ich
think.
serwer i tak jest kurwa martwy.
It is not the reality of gambling.
Mają tylko paru Polaków, co tam gra.
They saw the reality of gambling with all the losses you just.
Na Twitchu niewiele osób to streamuje, więc...
As you can see,
So wait, what am
played
I
Raw
looking
just
for
now
here?
and
Am
I
I
lost
looking for the
60,000
red line?
Dead server.
literally
But not the
60
field
fucking
test
I nie
seconds.
chcą mieć więcej ludzi, odrzucają podania tako.
Remember,
Sorry,
it's
no, ale-
Modern Warfare is entertainment for the rich, and that is it. You understand?
Chujo.
That is it. Thank you.
Is there like a color that I'm looking for here, chat? The yellow one better than the
So then
red
why
one?
gamble?
What's up with the background color? I'm getting smoked on
So I
this
get a
box.
high.
I
Really
tak
bad.
teraz WoWa będę grał, nie będę grał na GTA, więc...
Trends actually like.
Nie ma
I
to
think
wiele
Trends
bardzo
is the most
znaczenia.
efficient gambler I've ever met. That's
Oh, so
that's
the
me,
gold
like,
one's better.
not
Okej,
talking
4
shit,
minuta.
That's
what I've seen.
the stat track minimum.
Tera.
wear. Stat track. Stat track field tested, but the stat track field tested's worth more than the stat track minimal wear. No shit. It's a terrible box. You guys got a box that you guys like? Give me that gold. Okay, so it's not always good. Let's get out of this.
Seriously, look up to you. He's been able to preserve through all the hate and all the bullshit. Stay positive, baby. That's all love, baby. That's how you gotta do, you know what
Let's go
I'm
on a
saying?
bigger
Fuck
box.
those
Czyli jednak 5 minut
Should we
nagle
just
się
go like the big
zwiększyło.
ass boxes?
pussies. That's all love,
Summit
baby.
that way, dude.
Nah, I love Summit. Summit's not even he's just.
No, I'm not PG-13.
A, gdzie?
Summit, do you I recently started doing dummies.
Got money back.
Not this month because
Okay.
of Ramadan, but I was doing dummies.
Okay.
And do you do edible? Do you like edibles more than like smoking, or do you prefer smoking?
I don't partake in either, my man.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, you're a pussy, dog.
yeah.
You're a family-friendly pussy. Well, shit.
that good or
then.
bad?
Yeah. Well, fuck me then.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Kurde, chujowo to
You
zresetowało.
dig it.
What are you on, Trin?
On
What
what?
do you prefer?
So if I like
Prefer
lay
to-
eyes on one, oh, it's horrible looking, right?
I'm saying, do you
Oh,
do
no,
you do
chat, we're getting s-
gummies at all?
I've done gummies before, yeah.
Do you? But you don't prefer them? I just like those because I don't like
it dep-
smoking anything. I can't
What's that?
smoke. Like, I'm
Okay. What is that?
CS:GO.
Okay,
it
that's
doesn't
that
matter
thing,
what I prefer,
3%.
it's bad either way, sober
Yeah,
or
so-
high.
Hey, that helps.
there it is. Hey, this is the case right here, dude. This
That
is
helps
the
a
case.
little bit. I didn't expect to get.
What happened? Wait, 970? What is that?
Yeah, I hit something that didn't suck in this case. That was great. That was nice.
Because I
Get the Titan Hollow.
My
I swear
first
to God,
not
it's
suck
so
item.
nice.
Oh man, but you get ripped when you don't get the stuff.
I want to see you open the gloves with the Titan Hollow.
Oh, gloves! I got gloves
wait, you don't love? Oh, hell
for
yeah.
$6.45.
$185.
That's no way. 0.01. Oh, this is the guy?
Yeah, that's what's a Vito product. Oh wait, no, Trey knows him.
Oh, I'm getting smoked on that. Dude, but
would
when
say-
you
I would take
lose, you
the-
lose heavy.
It is tough, dude.
Dude, the Howling Dawn sticker looks cool.
What do you guys think? Is it the specialist gloves? Do you like this more than the?
So if I got like a Howl, would you put the Howling Dawn stickers on it, chat? That'd be fucking sweet.
That's what I'm looking around right now. The hand wraps aren't bad, but I think I have
Okay, he disappeared.
These guys made a killing on me today, huh? 80 G's just like that, just in one day for me.
Man, that's crazy, brother. Oh my
80,000 USD.
It was 50, I thought.
Yeah, 50 right now, and then 30,000 with Phenom.
Damn it, I'm not getting anything here.
That's true.
We're in trouble,
Fuck.
guys.
Yeah,
We're
they're
losing
getting
it all!
80 Gs. Hope they have a good time.
You know what the worst part is? You
What?
took Phenom's fucking spot. He was looking forward to that. That's all he had left for him, and you just took it from him.
Yo, just tell, yo, if y'all hear me, give my
A ten boi dalej tu jest, no zaraz chuj mnie strzeli!
Chat.
Almost chat or someone.
Wypad!
Give it to Phenom.
Pierdolę.
Give me that. Oh, you suck.
Give all
It
my
was so
rewards
fast
to
to
Mo.
swap.
Jebany
together.
boi,
Happy to swap.
kurwa.
Oh,
No przecież już wcześniej kurwa zajebałeś. Nagle znowu...
Wagered ever. You might be the highest wagered.
money back.
Boy, get out.
If I would have hit some wins, I would have probably been the highest wager in the world.
Let me do that. I have a fucking.
We gotta chill. We can't open this case anymore. We gotta chill.
I need a target. I don't
Sell
have
it,
a
you're kind of
target.
going broke.
I need to
I
target
know.
something first.
I know.
I need a target.
Dude, it
I
just
don't
went over
have
the gloves. Okay, we gotta get off this. We gotta get off this case. It's too expensive for our blood.
I don't have a target.
You fucked me up, Judd.
I need to target something first. I don't have a target. I need a
My
target.
bad.
I need to target something first. I don't have a target. I need to target something first. I need
Maybe
a
opening
target.
cases
I
is
need
not
to
the way, and I
target
should do
something
case
first.
battles
I need a
instead.
target.
Battles
I don't
is
have
where
a
it's at,
target.
bruh.
I need to
Yeah.
target something first. I don't have a
Opening
target.
cases scares
I
me.
need a target. I need to target something first.
Should
I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a
Double
target.
up there.
I need to target something first. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need to target something
Are
first.
you serious?
I need a target. I don't have a target. I need to target something
Last
first.
one on this one.
I need a target. I don't have
No,
a
they didn't.
target. I need a
But they
target.
said,
I need to
don't do
target
this.
something first.
No,
I
I
need a
did.
target.
Wow, you had 5,000 on green at one point. Why the fuck did you do that?
Fuck yeah, everything I care.
Bro, you're insane.
Hey, Clash, I'm gonna need 10 mil a month if you're gonna be posting like that.
10 mil a month. That's a lot.
Do I get paid now?
Ugh.
Just
I
kidding.
went the- I
I'm
went
just
the wrong
kidding. Just a
direction.
joke. Just a joke. I'm not getting paid that. Don't freak out.
Yeah, it's
Just
more.
a joke, guys. Just a joke.
That's
I
like
know you're out of
20 mil a
content,
month.
Jake. Don't post that.
I have an offer.
It's closer to 30.
I
Just
have an
kidding
offer. I have
again.
an offer from the site. You ready to hear this? Train, you ready?
Good. Yeah, what's up?
They'll give you 3 million on the site right now. But you gotta wager some. There's gonna be a wager, but you did it all. What do you think? You think you can run it up?
How
Fuck
many
it.
hours a month?
Oh, this is
No, bro,
1v1v1,
just
isn't it?
wager. You don't even
Yeah,
have to
but
stream.
but Mo, how much
No,
would they give
serious too.
me?
Fuck it. How many rolls is it?
You, Judd, they said, and I swear to
Two.
God, I'm not even making this up.
It's
They
only
said,
3.
We would love to have Summit and Train on the website, but there's this guy's voice in the background that we don't want anything to do with.
Okay,
Tell them the
dude.
only way we do a
Okay.
deal with them is if that guy disappears.
Alright,
I'm
cash
just going by what
yo,
they're saying.
it's time to cash out. It's time to
I
cash
just
out.
got that. Wait a second. I just got an email
79.
that said, "Yo, Train, if you wanna join us, you can come. Just not that sister fucking sound."
No!
What the fuck?
No, they're gonna beat us, chat. They're gonna beat us, chat. They're gonna beat us, chat.
Oh, man, dude.
We need a huge pull here.
What is this
Nope, we didn't get
slander?
it.
Some I DM'd you too, by the way. If you need any, just reach out.
Appreciate you, sir.
Also, add me on Discord, so it's probably easier for if you need to reach out.
Yeah.
What you talking about, Judd?
Oh wait, they're asking. Do you mind if they give you another little juicer before I leave? They're asking. They don't want to. It's up to you. Free money now. Fuck me. I don't know. Wait, did I get the gloves though? Because I sent them to myself.
I'm just trying not to look like a jackass in front of chat
Oh,
here.
incoming offer. There we go. Oh wow. Wait, I have offer from 2 different.
I didn't realize the first time around it was from the site.
Hey, Beard.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm a plan, bro. Low key.
Well, I have you on. Yeah, just do it.
I think I'm gonna start farming No Limit City Run.
Summit. They could give you. Do you want to give your chat any?
Let's not get chat
Okay.
involved just yet.
Yeah. No. chat right now. I'll just connect you because I don't like being this in the middle.
Yeah, I just want to keep. I just really want to just kind of just chill out and keep doing my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, they don't have to give the chat. My DMs are open.
Guys, Judd speaks for a summit, so you gotta get to him.
I speak for the chat. All right, I am the chat emperor.
I don't have a target. I need to target.
Dude, I'm gonna give you my
something
account
first.
and just take all the rewards. There's
Where are
like
you about to
40K
go?
in
I don't have a
You about to
target.
get off?
I need to target
Wait, no,
something
you
first.
can't. Don't give me your account, dude.
Bro, I'm like level 60. I have like 63
I know you're
rewards.
already. Wait.
I don't
Go
have
to
a
the
target.
free cases. You might
I
be
need
able to
to
open a free
target
case right now
something
that might
first.
win big
I
on
need
it.
a target. I need to target something first.
I hate this.
I don't have a
fucking-
target.
Bro,
I
I
need to
know
target
it's
I need to be careful
something
like the
first.
social
Bro,
media
it's trying
sideways.
attitude error. Okay,
mean,
let's
you
see
guys
here.
know what I'm
The best
doing.
case I have can win
Let's see
800
this dude's
bucks. Like,
logs.
who cares? Holy shit! Here you go. I opened them. See what I get.
What if you did something you didn't get nothing? Something like 10 cents.
I need a target. I need
Yep,
to
I
target
just got.
something
Let's
first.
see. Oh,
I don't have
25
a
cents.
target.
Thank you so
I need
much.
to target something
you know what?
first.
Znowu ten BDH. No chuj mnie strzeli, no kurwa, nie no.
All the way down, you might have a little rake back.
I don't have a target.
Check
I
that
need
out.
a
Oh,
target.
nice. 2
I need
Gs.
to
Thank you.
target something
2
first.
G's, bro. Throw them
I
on
need
the
a
right now, bro.
target. I
It's
need
fine.
to target.
Telefon mi dzwoni, fajnie kurwa, super.
I need to target something first. I don't have a target. I need a target. I
Some
need
of
to
that dark gambling.
Ja się chcę
Well, I mean, I was part of
położyć,
the gambling
odpocząć
group.
przed robotą, a tu kurwa przyjdzie ci jakiś chuj
But,
i będzie ci zapierdalał twojego kurwa moba. Jak mi zajebie, to ja nie wytrzymię.
target something first. I don't have a target. I need a target. I need to target
Alright, yeah, I'm down. Have them
I
juice
don't
it.
have a target. I need a target. I need to target something first. I don't have a target.
You guys are
I
cool
need
with it,
to
I'm cool with
target
it, but just know
something
this is
Yes! Dobra.
it's gonna stay.
Dobra, idę w chuj.
You know.
No i nareszcie.
10 mil a month is an insane amount of money.
So we're a little bit of fun money.
Technically, I get paid more than all those guys.
Okay, I hate. Wait. Oh, don't look, Trey. Don't look. Don't look right now.
Yeah, you
Is it
know,
green?
No, but it did hit the
maintaining my career is important to me. So.
chicken. It did hit the chicken. If it hit
Dobra,
the
idę
chicken,
się
I
wylogować,
would've
bo
slammed my head into the monitor too, honestly.
I always get back
za
into this
półtorej
stuff where I
godziny
get
muszę się
the
zbierać do roboty,
Counter-Strike 2's right around the corner, so I'm
a chcę
kinda
jeszcze
heavy
trochę
into this right
odpocząć
now.
przed
You know what I'm
robotą.
Dating Amaranth, I'm actually gay.
But would you date Amaranth if you weren't?
saying? Thank yes. It'll stay
Yeah,
on the
let's
site.
answer that.
It'll all go right back to the site.
let's talk about
Maybe we open some
Amaranth
cases
and I
and
are
done
just
PvP
friends.
though
But would you though?
for a little bit.
We're just friends. I don't see.
Wow.
Did you see Freakazoid hitting on some chick on Twitter?
Who?
I don't know, but he like I was like, the fuck? Did he?
39% to hit a fucking $9,000 item,
Random drive.
Freakazoid is married.
but
I know.
everything else sucks.
Not that I'm the best example.
Okay, this girl says looking for a workout partner in Dallas area.
61% chance you get
Ryan
fucked.
goes,
Wait a
bro.
second,
39%
wait a second,
chance
wait
you
a second.
triple your dough.
Is Clash giving the summit the money I just lost?
Yeah, you said it, didn't you?
Is that what's going on?
You said
Listen,
that.
I
You
don't know
didn't
what.
even
I blacked
Is that
out. I don't know
what's
what's
going on
happening.
here,
I blacked
Clash,
out.
I lose 80 GQ in 60 seconds and you just toss it over to
Bro,
someone
I
as a juice up. Is
can't.
that what's happening?
I can't believe you lose that much. I'm like sad. I'm like losing a few K. You know what I mean? At least on the other side, I was kind of sad. about it.
They said Trey.
Because that was my money.
left in the vault to get the summit from your losses.
Yeah, well, that's child's play. Fuck 'em. Hey, Clash, you keep this up, I'm gonna buy your site just to disband it.
Dobra. Ja nie chciałem długo dzisiaj grać, kurwa, tak wyszło 2 godziny.
I'm just kidding.
Przez tą jebaną kolejkę. Dobra, ale przynajmniej mam to z głowy.
Play a
Jej.
game. I'm done tonight, brother, man. I played for a while. I
Dobra.
was actually gonna get
5,
off like a couple hours
4,
ago, but I've just
3,
been chilling out.
2,
I'll be
1.
like, hey, so what's this guy?
GG's.